In the dead of night, a man stood on the deck of a Confederate warship, not as a soldier, but as a slave. What he did next would change the course of American history forever. Robert Smalls was born into slavery in Beaufort, South Carolina, in 1839. He worked in the fields as a boy, dreaming of a sea beyond the plantations, of freedom that lay somewhere across those waves. By his early 20s, he had been hired out by his enslaver to work in Charleston Harbor as a deckhand on the Confederate transport ship the Planter. Though enslaved, Robert was clever, observant, and quick to learn. He studied how the ship worked, memorized the harbor routes, and paid attention to the routines of the white officers. But behind that calm gaze, he was plotting something dangerous, a daring escape that could either set dozens free or lead them all to the gallows. On May 13th, 1862, under the cover of darkness, Robert made his move. The white officers left the ship for the night, trusting their loyal black crew to keep watch. Robert gathered his men. With trembling hands, he put on the captain's uniform and hat. His heart pounded. Every step meant death if discovered. He gave a whisper of hope. Tonight, we either live as free men or die as slaves. They started the engines. The Planter glided across the dark water, heading toward the Union blockade miles away. But to get there, they had to pass 5 Confederate checkpoints, each one guarded, each one deadly. At every post, Robert used the correct hand signals and whistles he had memorized from the captain. Torchlight flashed across their faces, then waved them through. They had done the impossible. As the Planter neared open sea, the Union ships loomed in the distance. The Confederate flag still flew above their mast, a cruel necessity to avoid suspicion. When they were close enough, Robert ordered his men to raise a white bedsheet, his wife's bedsheet, as a flag of surrender. Union sailors were shocked as the ship approached. When they realized it was crewed entirely by enslaved men, cheers erupted across the decks. Robert Smalls delivered not only a Confederate ship, loaded with ammunition and secrets, but also freedom for himself, his family, and his crew. News of his courage spread across the nation. Smalls became a hero in the North, a living symbol that black men were not property, but patriots. He joined the Union Navy, helping guide ships through treacherous southern waters he once sailed as a slave. After the war, he returned home, not as property, but as power. He bought his former master's house, and then he ran for office. Robert Smalls was elected to the U.S. Congress, where he fought for the rights of freedmen and for education for all, turning his once cursed name into one of glory. Robert Smalls lived to see freedom rise, but also watched it threatened again as new laws sought to chain his people once more. Still, he never wavered. "My race needs no special defense," he once said. "Only an equal chance in the race of life. From slave to sea captain, from captive to congressman." Robert Smalls proved that courage is the first act of freedom, and that no chain, no flag, no fear can bind the will of a free soul. If one man could defy an empire with nothing but courage and a stolen ship, imagine what we can do with our voices today. Like, share and subscribe to Tales by DOS for more true stories of defiance, freedom, and the untold chapters of Black history.